Hello everyone, welcome to this month's Stamping for Scrapbookers video. So this is a series that I do with my friends Sandy, Caitlin, and Christina, and every month we have a theme for our stamps. This month's theme is background stamps. So I'm going to pair my stamps with a heritage photo today. This is a photo of my grandmother and her brother. We're going to be using some white cardstock. I'm going to be playing with this collection from Photo Play. This is Bella Fleur. I have had this in my stash for a year or more. A year for sure, because I know when I bought it. And so it's at least a year old. And I don't think I've used hardly any of it. There's a couple pieces of paper I must have used a little bit of. But yeah, for the most part, this is totally ready to go collection pack. So we're going to play with that a little bit. And then for my stamps, I've got some throwback, old school woodblock background stamps. Both of these stamps are from Hero Arts. This one is at least 10 years old. This one actually has a copyright date on it, so I know for sure that this one is 10 years old. And I'm going to guess this one is right around about the same. It's called a canvas background. It doesn't have a date on it, but I'm going to go with it's probably 10 years old, if not more. So we're going to play with some old school background stamps, and I'm going to show you how to border your page with background stamps. And so that's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and grab some ink, and we can get started playing with these. Okay, let's get started. I decided that I really wanted to use these Catherine Polar ink pads. These are the ones that I have been using a lot for everything orange and peach, and they're gorgeous. So their colors are Coral Cabana and Bellini. I also chose them because they're nice big ink pads, and for this particular stamping project, we need big ink pads. So you can see my face there. I'm going down and I'm looking at where the red rubber ends so that I'm not making my stamping too gappy, if that makes sense. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a very imperfect stamp job all the way around the outside of this white cardstock. So the cool thing for me about using these old woodblock stamps is that I have a lot of the stamps that I have that are woodblock are like this. They're background. So they're like this canvas background or the grid, or I have one that's just like text. And these kinds of backgrounds are perfect for scrapbook pages because you don't need a perfect impression to get that texture. It's almost like when you put texture paste through a stencil, right? You just do some of the areas of the stencil and you just get that feeling of the texture on the background, and that's how this is. So I am stamping all the way around the outside of my page with this canvas textured one first. And this is using the Bellini ink. Or is this the Bellini? No, this is Coral Cabana. And then I'm going around the edge and I'm stamping off again. So I'm going to clean this canvas one, and now we're going to add over it the grid design. So what's really cool about this is that you can use two of these woodblock stamps. Make sure one has a more close pattern, one has a wider pattern, and then just pick two ink colors that coordinate. So you might have a light blue and a dark blue. You might do what I did and have a coral and a peach color. You might want to do a minty green and then a grass green over top of it. And by doing two background stamps that have these textures to them, you can create really cool effects by layering the stamping on top of each other. The trick to doing this is to have one stamp that has a close knit pattern, more of a solid pattern, and one that has more of an open pattern. And then making sure that your colors are not too far away from each other on the color wheel. So again, like this is like the corals and the peaches, or you could do aquas and greens, something like that. So I'm just doing the same thing now. I am allowing the grid stamp to kind of come up, and I'm putting it higher than my canvas texture stamp. So that is adding a little bit more of that like wonky, imperfect stamping that we want. We want that wonky, imperfect stamping. We want it to look a bit messy. And it's okay because you're using woodblock stamps, you're not going to get perfect impressions unless you're an amazing stamper. But I'm going to go with most of us that are stamping on our scrapbook pages are not, you know, pro stampers. So this is a really great way to get a really cool texture around the edge of your page. So I went through the pattern papers from this collection and I pulled out the ones that I thought set my photo and set my background off. I pulled in the ones that have the really kind of those corally, peachy, orangey colors, and then I added a little bit of mint green just to break it up a little bit. And so what I'm doing now is I know that I want to fill in the middle part of this layout with some nice blocks of paper. I don't want them to be super straight. I don't want them to be like a grid. I want it to look like I just have some nice pattern filling up most of the middle of my page. That being said, I also know that I want there to be a break between the stamping and my layout and the pattern papers. So I want you to be able to see that there's a break. I don't want it to look like that pattern goes underneath everything and is my entire background. I want it to look like it's just framing the middle of my page. And I'm also not making these papers straight because is my stamping straight? Oh my goodness, no. It is not straight at all. So I don't want the paper layers behind my photo to be straight either. I am going to go ahead and create a little bit of a longer banner with this stripey paper, but these papers are so pretty. They worked so well with this stamped background and those ink colors I chose, and I just love them. And the black and white photo is so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and do just a bit more stamping. I want to create 2 labels. I don't have a lot of journaling for this page. I really just have it's one of these pages where it's just I know who the people in the picture are, and I have a basic idea of when the photo was taken. So I know that that's my grandmother and her brother, and I know that it's Sam, her brother Sam, my great uncle Sam, and then I do know that it's somewhere 1933 or 1934. So one of those years, but that's all the information that I have for this photo. So I'm just going to document what information that I have. I'm going to take these LA Studio label stamps. I'm going to stamp 1 label in Bellini and 1 label in Coral Cabana. And then I'm going to go ahead and write my journaling onto those stamped labels, staple it so they're kind of together, and then I'm going to go ahead and start to add the stickers from the sticker sheet. So I don't have a ton of extra embellishments from this collection. There are some. I know there's a stamp set that goes with it. There's a set of die cuts, but I only got this one collection pack. So I am going to definitely have to dip into my stash a little bit for some extra not sticker embellishments. But I'm also going to end up using a bunch of stickers from the sticker sheet. So definitely, as I think these stickers are going to go really fast, and this might be a kit in a couple of months when I have used the stickers and need to pull from my stash for a lot of embellishments that match. I am going to go ahead and pop up my title, which is going to be these 2 stickers. I kind of put them together and it just says Delightful Memories, but I thought the colors were good. The wording is just really, really nice and neutral, I guess. I don't know. Delightful Memories. Perfect, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more of the stickers that I've chosen. So I grabbed a bunch of the stickers off the sticker sheet and I just stuck them to the edge of my glass media mat. I should have pulled out my Get Sticky With It TN that's sitting right there and put them in there so that you could see them, but I was putting this layout together really fast because the same room that I used to scrapbook in, my son uses to do school in. So I put this layout together in the morning before he started school, and I was up against a deadline. So I just flopped them down on the edge of my glass mat. Okay, next up, I went through my Spiegelmom Scraps stash just to add something extra that wasn't a sticker. I am going to use these adorable, I'm trying to think what they're called, Cool for Love, something. They're wood veneer hearts. They're in the Speak of Mom Scraps shop, and they're super duper cute, and you can always use my code to save a little bit on a set of them for yourself. There's oodles of them in there too. I also grabbed from my Speak of Mom Scraps stash some older sequins. These are discontinued and retired sequins, so they definitely will not be in the shop, but they were perfect color. And I am trying very, very hard to use my sequin stash and not to hoard my sequin stash. My sequin stash currently fills 2 bowls on my scrapbook table. A large, like punch bowl. It's insane. And then a smaller bowl. And then I also have some in my IKEA divider thing that I use. So yeah, we're gonna try really hard. Part of my quarantine scrapping goals is to use up some sequins. So once all those sequins are down, my layout is complete. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be another double day where you're gonna have another video later on this evening, so you can look forward to that. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye.